But let's talk about the game of the game of the ages, the most watched game in NFL history was supposed to be the New England Patriots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You said you weren't impressed. I liked it. Now, I thought it was a good football game. I think the reason why so many people did not think that was because we all expected Tom Brady to go out there and just go nuts. And that did not happen. New England had a great game plan. They did not allow Tom Brady to air it out over the field. Chris Godwin was on witness protection for the entire first half. Listen, New England played a hell of a game. They played well enough to win that game. But Tom Brady at the end of the day, is Tom Brady for a reason, right? New England was 2 of 9 on third downs. You're not going to get it done there. They only ran the ball 8 times. We already knew that it was going to be very difficult for New England to run on Tampa Bay. Damian Harris ain't it. Like, you gotta try something different. You got to give Ramondre Stevenson a shot. It's hard to run on Vita Vea and then Ndamukong Suh and Devin White. Mac Jones was 31 for 40, 275, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. The narrative around him, I don't get it, man. I do not get it. I'm seeing people say, oh, he's not that special. His ADOT wasn't that high. He's not taking shots downfield. Who the hell is he supposed to throw to downfield? Who's running downfield? It's not Jacoby Myers. It's not Jonnu Smith. It's not N'Keal Harry. It's not Hunter Henry. Nelson Aguilar is who we want to put our chips in and our stock in for Mac Jones to throw the ball downfield to. Nelson Aguilar? Are we serious? Like, I think people want this kid to fail so bad that a performance like this just, 275 yards. He didn't push the ball downfield a lot. Not good. Told you Mac Jones stinks. I don't get it, man. I mean, maybe I don't know football. Maybe I just don't know football, but he played well enough for them to win the game. He did not lose New England that game. He had 1 interception early in the game that was tipped over the middle to Nelson Aguilar. He took his shot and it got intercepted. Probably a bad ball. Shouldn't have thrown it. But I thought Mac Jones played really, really good in a poor game condition. I mean, it was pouring rain. This was Tom Brady's day, and Mac Jones' stage did not seem too bright for the kid. I'm not sitting here saying that he is going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback, but when I look around the NFL and I see the Drew Locks of the world starting, when I see Jared Goff taking snaps, when I see all these other quarterbacks, I'm thinking, I bet you $100, I bet you $1 million Denver would rather have Mac Jones at quarterback opposed to Drew Lock. I bet you the Detroit Lions would rather have Mac Jones instead of Jared Goff. I don't get the hate, man. I don't understand it. It's just a crazy narrative to me that so many players, so many analysts don't like this kid or want to shit on his performance when I thought he played a fantastic game. He played about as well as you could hope for versus the defending Super Bowl team. I don't get it, man. I just don't. I do not understand it for the life of me.
Yeah, and I think where you're right is that, in my opinion, the Patriots outplayed the Bucs. Part of that was because Tom Brady couldn't really throw the ball very well. He was super inaccurate, and that was kind of one of the big things with the game. The 2 turnovers really killed the Patriots, even though the Bucs didn't score a whole lot of points off of them. I believe they only had 3 points off the 2 turnovers. One of those turnovers was a fumble by J.J. Taylor, who, of course, did not see the field for the rest of the game because he fumbled. Ramondre Stevenson didn't play because he's been fumbling lately. So we saw a lot of Brandon Bolden, and that's what I want to highlight here quickly for the people who do play fantasy.
He is terrible, too.
we don't want to talk about Brandon Bolden,
terrible.
but he's getting a lot of snaps. And for better or worse, he is going to be that James White role.
You're right, but he's terrible.
Unfortunately.
You're right, but he is terrible.
He's not great, but Mac Jones looked spectacular. And for people who think that Cam Newton should be starting, that is not the case. Mac Jones is way better in the pocket. I don't know who he sidestepped on one of his throws, but he juked the living hell out of Devin White. And this dude is barreling down the A-gap, and there is nobody there. And Mac Jones sidesteps and throws a 15-yard completion just right away like it was nothing. But the biggest thing that people need to understand is that the moment is not too big for Mac Jones. And it is so understated in college football how important it is to have quarterbacks with a lot of good experience. This was not the biggest game Mac Jones has ever played. And I personally refuse to believe that. People can say that narrative all they want, but this is a regular season game. Yes, it's against Tom Brady. Yes, it's home, viewership, all this stuff. Mac Jones led an undefeated Alabama team to the national championship game after just winning after just losing the Heisman to his own teammate. Like, these games are so much bigger to these kids than a week 4 regular season game. Mac Jones comes out, throws a touchdown to Jonnu Smith to take the lead, and he's just walking down the field.
Yeah, he just ran to the sideline. Yeah.
He doesn't give a shit about these games. Like, he is so locked in, like, to the point where it's honestly annoying watching him play sometimes, because he's so even keel with everything that he does. But that's what makes him such a great quarterback. He doesn't need to have these highs and lows. He just stays the course, runs the offense, looks great. Now, to your point, he only threw one pass longer than 20 yards, but I'm not too concerned about that because it was more of the weather wasn't great. Maybe that was the way they wanted to play the offense. We're going to see how that offense develops over time. Right now, it's very short, dink and dunk, but I'm okay with that if it's successful. And this game, it was successful.
Here's my thing with that. Would you rather your rookie quarterback, launching it down the field, getting picked off, doing what Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson were doing early, or protecting the ball, taking what's there, building confidence, and having methodical drives down the field? I don't care if he does it in 3 plays or if it takes him 9 plays, and there's a certain part of it, like, you get into a rhythm. Like, when he had 2 methodical drives down the field, like 9+ play drives, just picking them apart, and had Devin White not tipped, or I think it was Devin White, not tipped that ball on 3rd down, Jacoby Myers was wide open. I mean, he was about to catch that and run down the field. It will develop, man. It's his 4th game in the NFL, and people are acting like the story is written. He's a finished product. He will never be able to throw the ball downfield. Again, I ask you, Jay, and I'm being serious, who is he supposed to throw the ball? They're not running down the field. Who is he supposed to run down the field, and who's he supposed to throw it to?
I mean, it is Nelson Agholor. That's the guy. You know, I believe he averaged 18 yards per reception last year, looked really good. But the biggest thing for me right now is that they need to actually start taking those shots a little bit more. And while I agree with you, I think that there is certain parts that are being protected with Mac Jones. They're not trying to do too much with him. They're slowly building this offense out. But Nelson Agholor needs to be that guy. Maybe N'Keal Harry down the line becomes that guy. But for now, I think they do need to start taking more shots, right? They are doing a bit of dink and dunk. And even still, what we haven't seen as well is stretching the field with the tight ends. Maybe that's Jonnu Smith's fault because he hasn't been that great so far this season. But Hunter Henry looked pretty good in this game. Jonnu seems to be, we'll see what they do with them. But I think that they do need to start opening it up with Nelson Agholor because we know that Mac Jones can take those shots. He just, for some reason, hasn't yet. They did it in the preseason. Haven't seen it so much so far.
He's a rookie, man. He's a rookie quarterback in an offense that's designed to get the ball out quick. They talked about his time of release. Thought he played a good game, man. Could he have played better? Sure. Tom Brady. We're comparing him. Do you understand what we're doing? We're comparing this kid to Tom Brady. I mean, I would rather be compared to Andy Dalton and Nick Foles. I would rather be compared to Gardner Minshew and whoever Jackson and Jake Luton. I would rather be compared to Sam Darnold with the New York Jets. I'd rather be replacing Jimmy Garoppolo. He's replacing Thomas Patrick Edward Brady, whatever his damn name is. 6-7 touch. I just think what people want him. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm seeing Cam Newton would have won the game. Cam Newton would have this team 4-0. With the same damn weapons he had last year, the same ones, outside of Jonnu Smith and Hunt. I don't get it. I thought the kid played a hell of a game. He played well enough to win it. And in a world in which nobody gave New England a shot, even yourself didn't give New England a shot. And I said on Friday, it's not going to be a blowout. They will cover the spread. New England is going to play Tampa Bay tough. And I said that on the show, and I took New England all over the place to cover the spread, and they did that. They played well enough to win. Now, Tampa Bay, Tom Brady breaks the all-time passing record. I think he got that to Antonio Brown. Was it AB that ended up? No, it wasn't AB. It was Mike Evans that caught it. AB got the next pass. Tom Brady played well enough to get the job done. In a very, different environment for him at Gillette Stadium as the opposing quarterback. Leonard Fournette, man, blast from the past. Playoff Lenny looking like regular season Lenny, 20 for 91, 3 of 5 through the air for 47 yards. Mike Evans, 75 through the air. Antonio Brown set 11 targets, 63 yards. Almost had a beautiful touchdown grab in the end zone, which would have iced the game just a little bit. Just couldn't reel it in. But Tampa Bay is getting decimated by injuries, man. I mean, they are just getting decimated by injury. What do you think about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their Super Bowl aspirations? Is it just a matter of health? Because they will get healthy. But what were your thoughts on Tampa Bay really quick?
I thought they looked okay. I didn't think they executed very well, like you talked about with Antonio Brown. It was actually back-to-back plays. First play, he didn't see it. Second time, he kind of dropped it. It was wet, all those things. Tom Brady didn't look great in the rain. Again, nothing really you can do about that. If you're going to throw the ball in the rain, you're going to expect it to be wet. You're going to expect it to be hard to catch. Chris Godwin didn't show up. Mike Evans played really well, which I was happy to see because he's been kind of in and out a little bit. But AB was kind of the focal point of the offense. Cameron Brate couldn't do anything. But more importantly, what you notice is that they do not have the depth right now to win games. They are funneling all of their targets and all their opportunities to a few players, and it's not really working out for them. They're too easy to stop right now, but it was great to see them get the running game going, and I hope that continues because that will help their success down the line. But the back end, I forget who got injured, but they lost 2 cornerbacks in that game. I believe they lost a safety as well.
Carlton Davis didn't look good for Carlton Davis. Richard Sherman looked like a dude who had been at the house for a minute. You know what I mean? I don't think Tampa Bay is going to return, man. I don't right now. I can't see it, man. I love that they found a ground game, but right now the secondary is a liability. It's a big time liability. We'll see how it all plays out.